French attitudes towards the conflict in Ukraine topped the agenda at the Press Club de France in Paris this week, as the venue played host to a roundtable discussion entitled Ukraine, a new geopolitical challenge for Europe. The debate focused on the results of a recent survey conducted by French research company BVA and commissioned by Ukraine Today, which sought to gauge French public opinion towards the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The survey results presented a picture of a French public which is broadly supportive of the Ukrainian position and highly critical of the Russian role in the ongoing conflict, with 93% of respondents viewing the confrontation as an attempt by the Kremlin to regain control over Eastern Europe. However, support for Ukraine's European ambitions were less emphatic. Journalist Gilles Maeli, who is a co-founder of monthly political magazine Causer, said these results reflected French society's relative detachment from the conflict currently raging on Europe's eastern frontier. It's apparent that in their appraisal of a conflict, the French people are generally closer to the Ukrainian narrative, and that Russia is considered the aggressor. However, France does not experience this conflict as emotionally as it does many other conflicts, such as the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, for example. 79% of respondents subscribe to pro-Ukrainian positions on the conflict. Tetiana Agarkova, a professor from Ukraine's Kiev Mohila Academy, said the strong public support reflected growing recognition in France of Ukraine's European identity.
To me, what these numbers show is the substantive effect that the Orange Revolution has had on European public opinion. It was at that point that the French began to look at the Ukrainians as equals, as Europeans.
This support did not translate into majority backing for Ukraine's EU ambitions, which just 34% of respondents supported. Historian Antoine Arjakovsky argued that this reticence may be linked to a lack of awareness over Europe's geopolitical obligations in the region. The French press does not always adequately explain the debt that the country accrued towards Ukraine, having co-signed the Budapest Memorandum, along with China, the United States, Britain, Russia. France gave its word when it guaranteed the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine in exchange for denuclearization. While French public opinion currently leans towards Ukraine, the survey also identified strong support for the delivery of 2 French Mistral-class warships to Russia. The sale of the warships has been put on hold in response to the conflict in Ukraine, but 71% of respondents said France should go ahead with the delivery.
It's evident that the Mistral question plays an important role in the French opinion. It's enough to understand the economic situation in France to understand why. If we don't sell the Mistrals to the Russians, another country will fulfill those contracts with Russia. We worry that other countries we deal with, such as India, will acknowledge that we honor our contracts.
For now, the warships remain in France, while the debate continues over the conflict in Ukraine. This is Vladislav Davidson reporting for Ukraine Today from the Press Club de France in Paris.